want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So now that you have chosen to take the red pill, let's talk about Ascension. Welcome to Vibe Talks. My name is Jessica Johnson and I'm tuning in from Western Michigan. Today we're going to talk about Ascension. And you know, I've had a lot of people who have asked me, Jessica, what is Ascension? Especially those who have seen my videos either on YouTube or Facebook where I've used that phrase Ascension a lot. It's a commonly used term since the start of 2012, which was when we were at the age of Aquarius. It's been more so talked about lately, which brings me to make this video about it, especially for those who are starting in their awakening process. So stay engaged because we're going to break it all down and expand your mind. So many have asked, what is Ascension? Why is it important to you or essential to your soul development? Why exactly are you so drawn to know what it's all about? Well, Ascension is simply the path of those who are choosing to consciously step into a higher level of light and frequency. It's a personal choice to boldly step into the unknown in order to expand in an experience that is entirely new. You see, Ascension is actively choosing to evolve into a higher consciousness. Yet, not everyone makes this choice because we do have this thing called free will. This evolutionary process is totally your choosing. Think of Ascension as merging your heart and expanding to reunite with the divine source energy, the Christ light, in all levels and layers of your authentic self. It's not a religion. It's more of a way of life and understanding at a higher level. It is returning to the experience of divine light and experiencing the highest level of unconditional love and divine alignment with the pure source light in every area of your life. Ascension is not something that just happens to us on a certain date or that we unknowingly or unwillingly stumble into. It's done rather through an expanded awareness and by integrating the higher vibrational consciousness of our spiritual selves that we are able to ascend. Ascension is a process of aligning with the higher consciousness and with the divine. It doesn't happen instantly, nor automatically, but rather ascension happens incrementally as we increase our present moment illumination one step at a time. However, before we wind up diving too far deep into everything and what ascension is all about, let's look at the different aspects of ascension so you can get a better view in what it may look like for you. But first, I must tell you that spiritual ascension is not all unicorns and rainbows, okay? It is often accompanied by severe and shocking shifts that result to what is called the dark night of the soul. It's called this being that it is a full transformation of you, where it becomes a rebirth and a shedding of the old self, where the awakening is a part of that ascension process. So let's start with the awakening process of the mind. But first, allow me to ask you this. Have you ever experienced that sudden click when a piece of information, word, or synchronicity falls into a larger puzzle? Well, this is called the mental awakening, where it's often that such realizations wind up staying with us, and it winds up motivating us and inspiring and profound changes in our lives. You see, this is a type of awakening that when you experience a major epiphany or a sudden mental realization, this deep understanding does not necessarily translate to integrated experiences, but it does feel like an astonishing flash of an enlightened perspective that can help you mentally understand life. Another part of the awakening process is the awakening of the new personality. So think back to the kind of person that you were about 1 to 3 years ago. Are you still pretty much the same person? Or have you made some major life-enhancing positive shifts? If you feel that you have changed in a good way, you've likely have experienced a personality awakening. And this type of awakening is caused when a previously repressed, ignored, or shunned parts of the personality have been integrated to create a more wholeness. You see, the mental awakening are consistent and they do go deep enough over a period of time that can result in a development of new personality altogether. This type of transformation and ascension involves in cutting away and moving past old limiting and toxic patterns, where you develop qualities such as self-acceptance, empowerment, and understanding. So what about the awakening of the spiritual energy? With this type of awakening, in regards to the spiritual energy, it can certainly feel mild all the way up to extreme. Common signs of this awakening of the spiritual energy involve feeling of enhanced vitality and energy on a physical level, where you feel energy rushes, that tingly and electrical feeling throughout your whole body. Almost the same sensation that you feel when your foot falls asleep, but it's your whole body vibrating the same way. You see, spiritual ascension can sometimes refer to awakening the spiritual energy within the body in the energy field. And when the life force energy, commonly referred to as the Kundalini energy, it's awakened and major changes can occur on a physical through spiritual levels. Ancient practices such as Tai Chi, yoga, meditation, and Tantra will help to awaken this energy, but sometimes the life force energy awakens spontaneously. This sudden activation is called the Kundalini awakening, which enters the realm of the soul and total awakening. It is like having sharpened awareness and the feeling of that cosmic interconnectedness. Now, Negative symptoms can also arise, usually for the uninitiated, such as like mood swings, mania, physical hypersensitivity, and not able to sleep at night, maybe some seizures, loss of appetite or overeating, or even extreme and scary altered states of consciousness, just to name a few. However, don't worry, for the most part, many people have had more positive responses than any type of negative one. So, what about the process of the awakening of the soul? Allow me to ask you this. Have you ever had a moment in which you have felt the division between yourself and the world around you? Have you ever shifted from the ego perspective to the universal perspective? Have you ever experienced any moments where you felt deeply aligned with your life purpose? Well, these are all the signs of the soul awakening, developing the virtuous qualities such as the compassion, the tolerance, the forgiveness, and the unconditional love that is also accompanied with the soul awakening. You see, the soul awakening can be brief, and it can be sudden, or it can even be long and drawn out. With the brief soul awakening, they are often referred to the Zen Buddhism of the Satori, which is the experience of seeing into one's true eternal nature. This glimpse of enlightenment is also is short, and it doesn't last very long. On the other hand, the long-term soul awakening are experienced as a deepening of contact with one's soul. This could wind up involving consistently uniting with one's soul purpose, where spirit guides or higher self, and thereby understanding, and will begin to wind up experiencing oneself as eternal and limitless. So now, it's all about having total awakenings, right? So what is a total awakening? Well, this isn't something that we can just achieve in a normal sense of the word. When enlightenment occurs, this is an experience of being both nothing and everything all at the same time. It is a state that transcends thought and the mind itself, and it is a mystical awakening where the ego is finally seen and understood and can overcome, and all that remains is pure awareness and presence and love and truth. You must know that enlightenment, or total ego death, is a rare experience in which the self dissolves and all that remains is unity with all. The state is called by many names like oneness, non-dual awareness, Buddhahood, illumination, even the rainbow embodiment, and so forth. Such that it's an intense state of being that can arise spontaneously or through years of spiritual study and even discipline. But in both of these instances, total awakening is a gift of grace. With ascension, it's not only spiritual, physical, or even mental. The whole ascension process has an impact on our whole entire being and how we wind up perceive, relate to, and interact with the world around us. Ascension is a total transformation. To ascend is to realign with the divine love, with awareness at an expanded level of consciousness. Being spiritually awakened is tuning into the spiritual side of life through practice, meditation, tuning into the deeper meaning and bringing the presence of spirit or connecting with spirit in your life. It really doesn't matter whether you're connecting with angels, your loved ones, your higher self, God, or even divine source. When you wind up experience, feel, or even sense and communicate beyond the physical, you're tuning into the spiritual. Awakening in itself is when you actually wake up to the truth that you are one with Source Light. You understand that there's so much more going on that is not just the physical realm. You are waking up to the knowledge of the greater divine plan that is unfolding throughout all of reality. It also means that you're waking up to experience your higher vibrational truth, the perspective of your greater self, and understanding that you are the spark of the divine. Truth be known that awakening and spirituality are both part of ascension. Though this you will wind up learning to wind up taking control of your own awareness and attention, that you are able to wake up to the authentic nature of your spirit and to empower yourself to consciously align with higher consciousness, wisdom, and the divine in every moment. The game of life is triggering more and more to wake up from the persistent illusion and to remember that the truth of our multidimensional selves by linking with the higher consciousness. In addition to awareness, integration is an essential part of ascension. To continue moving further into higher vibrational frequencies without being pulled back into the lower energies tied to fear, releasing and integrating the lower vibrational aspects of self are essential. You are Source Incarnate and Source God. The universe is experiencing reality through your eyes and even mine. It is awakening to the fact that we are not separate, that you are another aspect of me and you are another aspect of myself. Lakik. Lakik is a Mayan word that literally means that you are another myself, that we are one, that we are both Source Light, viewing reality throughout our life experience and tuning into the level of awareness that is awakening. Now, I'm not saying that you are God, but rather a spark of God. You are a divine human, and ascension is returning to this new template, to your true divine nature. Ascension, by definition, is evaluating your vibration through spiritual practice, meditation, receiving codes of awakening, light, and DNA activations. Ascension winds up allowing you to access spiritual energetic upgrades to rise above the experience of duality and transcend negativity and live as an awakened divine being in the physical form. To fully ascend into the total enlightenment and awareness of the divine within yourself and within all, clearing out the old and outdated patterns, habits, beliefs, and energy is required to make room for the inner brilliance and illumination of divine light to shine through you. You see, by cutting the cords to the past and releasing the pain, the guilt, or the grief which is weighing you down, you wind up freeing yourself to awaken and to ascend. You're then able to shine as your unique expression of the divine that you are, moving forward on your path of illumination. Even though ascension has winded up entered into the collective consciousness since December 21st of 2012, with now the entrance of the age of Aquarius has came and gone, where it's more clear than ever before that instead of something external magically happening to all to shift at once, it's now up to you. It's up to each and every individual to make the inner shift to awaken and ascend. Then, collectively, we are able to view reality through the lens of love and through this enlightened perspective, that mass ascension and the realm of love on earth can finally be felt and seen. Due to the continued wave of light and spiritual energy flowing into the earth from the divine realms, ascension is now more than ever before available to all. More people are waking up every day to the feeling and knowing that there is more to life than the economy and the physical aspects of reality. Plus, the once hidden teachings of love, enlightenment, and ascension are no longer concealed by mystery schools, religions, and secret societies. But while the information is out there and the stage is set, ascension takes commitment and self-responsibility to make that leap out of fear and into love. It takes a constant return of awareness to wind up shifting out of old patterns and habits in order to lift to the light, to evolve and ascend. Now, I will tell you that the ascension path is not easy, but it is simple. Your awareness is your most valuable resource, and so if you want to process on your ascension path, you have to make a commitment to take control of your attention and become more and more aware. In the physical world, now there are constant supply of distractions, entertaining and stimulating our minds in every moment, so we need to unplug. What do I mean? Well, the mind is a part of what we are ascending, but to do so, we need to be able to let it pause. Turn off the TV, put down the smartphone, and just be and breathe. Learn to meditate and pause your mind on the demand for this increases your awareness. You're able to consciously interact with the world around you. You to learn and to validate through real life experience. It's also incredibly important to prepare your body vehicle for higher levels of light through detoxification and clearing lower levels of emotions and limiting beliefs and fear. Awareness will also help you to adapt to the ever-changing circumstances of life around you. In addition to meditation, learn and seek out new perspectives. Validate what you wind up learning to gain wisdom and knowledge and implement what will serve you. Love every moment, move forward, and grow. So spiritual ascension is also known as the spiritual awakening. It is a natural evolutionary process which winds up evolving the process of shedding the old self and experiencing an inner rebirth. Many would say that the spiritual ascension in terms of being upgraded, rebooted, being evaluated in vibrational frequency. All of these terms are a way of referring to the inner evolution and the expansion of the mind, heart, or soul. Spiritual ascension is about reaching new heights and transitioning old limiting habits, beliefs, mindsets, and ways of being. Through ascension, you are truly reborn. Thank you guys again for watching my video, Ascension. Be sure to pass the knowledge along, leave a comment, any type of questions or thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe by hitting that notification button down below, and I will see you next time. Stay blessed, let love do the rest. Until next time, I will see you again on Vibe Talks.